cases are, it may not show them all on the docket, but he has 4 cases. There was a,
two.
yes, there was a, excuse me, a
Motion to sever.
motion to sever. Severance occurred. So the cases that he has are 23 CF 280, 23 CF 503, 24 CF 253, 24 CF 254. He has received an offer from the state that I have gone over initially with the interpreter. He wants me to come back and see him at the jail and go over it in more detail. And also, I will hopefully be able to bring the videotape of the depositions of the alleged victims. So we're asking to continue to June 12th, and the state has no objection and has agreed to keep the offer open until June 12th.
That is, sorry, I was going to say that's correct, Your Honor.
And then after, the state's also indicated if he doesn't take the deal on June 12th, the state's going to revoke the offer. Okay, thank you, Your
Very
Honor.
good. The court will continue until June 12th. Any questions for the defendant?
Solamente me podría anotar la fecha, por favor?
No, can you please write the date of the next court date?
Yes.
Sí, lo puedo hacer.
No problem.
Va a ser el 12 de junio a las 9 de la mañana. Ese documento de usted lléveselo. El otro. Esta es la oferta para que la repase. ¿Ok? Es todo. Gracias.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That's all I
Thank you
have.
very much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, is that weird?
Travis Gates on behalf of Christopher Keene, Your Honor, should be number 78 on the docket. Before the court in 24 CF 292, 24 CF 293, and 24 CF 491. I had left them in hopes that we could get a resolution. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we will. If it's said, Your Honor, the court was scheduled for May the 16th, I'm going to get a bond motion filed to cover his cases.
Okay. Do you, normally we don't set the hearing until we get the motion, but you can get it on May 16th anyway. Why don't we just do a full cycle, and when you get yours filed, just call
Yes,
and
sir.
ask for May 16th.
Yes, sir.
We got plenty of space so far.
Yes, sir. And I told Mr. Keene that I was going to ask for May the 16th, but the court's basically saying because we've got time, I'll come and see you this week, get it filed, and we schedule it anyway, okay?
We should be able to get the same date scheduled. It's procedure.
I think that includes all my business before the court today, if I may be excused.
You may.
Your Honor, this is Randall Dunham Miller, 2022 CF 588, 2021 CF 1537, 2021 CF 289, 2022 CF 215, and 2020 CF 2183. Apologies for going a little out of order there. The state and the defense have worked out an agreement that would cover all 5 of these dockets. However, we're working out an updated score sheet. Don't have it yet. We're working it out, so I need that before I can write up the plea agreement formally. So we were talking about Thursday, April 18th. That would give us a couple days to finalize the score sheet, make sure everything's correct. If that is acceptable.
Generally speaking, we don't want to use these for that, but we're trying to get, I know you're trying to resolve these, but try not to make it happen because we're using these for trial prep.
Yes, Your Honor.
We just have it in the morning. So 4/18 for plea.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Mr.
Your Honor, next is Caleb Easterling, 2023 CF 231G. I believe the state has an announcement in this case.
Yes, Your Honor, and the state's going to announce a null pros in this case.
Very good. Court will accept the null pros.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later, Mr. Easterling. Stay safe.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Ellis.
Mr. Farcus. One second. Your Honor, hold on. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second.
It's all right, take your time.
Your Honor, I don't have Mr. Ellis's file with me because I filed a motion for a bond hearing. It's set for tomorrow. So I'm not sure if you want to also just address the case generally today or wait to do that tomorrow at the bond hearing.
Well, let's do the overall case for the bond hearing, and just speak for the bond.
Okay. Your Honor, I have been discussing this case with the state, and I believe that we might need to do depositions in this case. So I will be setting those.
We'll do a full cycle till
Thank you.
6/12. But we'll do the bond hearing tomorrow.
And I believe that I have all of the discovery in the case, so we're moving along.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow for the bond hearing, okay.
Thank you.
All right, see you tomorrow.
Next is Evans.
Okay. Your Honor, next is Michael, oh, he's coming, sorry. Michael Evans, 2022 CF 0067 and 2024 CF 108. Mr. Evans has two other cases with me that were hold on 1 second, were continued to June 12th. I just received a new global offer and more discovery from the state in those cases on April 1st, and that offer would cover these two cases as well. And I'll be scheduling depositions in one of those cases, which is kind of the controlling case. So if we could have a full cycle continuance in these so that everything can be tracking together. Yeah, I apologize, Your Honor. The full cycle continuance, and I'll be meeting with Mr. Evans on Wednesday to discuss all
Very
four
good.
cases
We'll
with
continue
him.
this till 6/12, 9 a.m.
Binkley.
Your Honor, this is William Finkley, 2024 CF 0023. This is his first pretrial conference date. He picked up a new case as well on April 1st, so I need to discuss both of those with him if we could have a cycle continuance.
Has there been an arraignment in the other case?
Yeah, I believe, yes, he was arraigned in the other case.
He was arraigned?
Yes, he was.
And so is that other case set for 6/12?
I'm actually not
Just
sure.
want to track them together.
Yes, it's set for 6/12, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll continue this matter till
Thank you.
6/12.
Joshua Flippin, 2023 CF 2412 and 2023 CF 2414. We have set depositions in this case. The earliest date that we could get was July 19th. It was the date that was available for everybody. I do have discovery in this case, and I've been speaking with ASA Losco about it. So we're moving it along as fast as we can.
No way to get it done before July? Deposition?
Judge, if I can get an email about this case, I can look and see why we were set that far out. It might have something to do with the witness availability. More about witness availability than my availability.
Yes, yes, that's
'cause-
definitely, it's not ASA Losco. I think because it's the two cases that happened on the same day, there are a number of police officers and witnesses involved.
Okay, we'll continue this till 6:12.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Priory.
Your Honor, this is Sean Friery, 2021 CF 0896 and 2023 CF 2696. Your Honor, the state and the defense have reached an agreement in this case. He was prepared to take it last Wednesday when we had crazy weather. So if I could approach with it. It's been signed.
Thank you. Would you announce the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. In docket 2021 CF 896, count 1 was a previous adjudication of guilt. Admit VOP, adjudicate guilty, 12.1 DOC. It will be concurrent with the felony charge in docket 2023 2696, credit for all time served. In 2023 2696, count 1, adjudicate guilty, 12.1 DOC, concurrent to 2021 896, credit for all time served. And count 2, the misdemeanor count, adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, revoke and terminate supervision.
And Your Honor, this is the state's agreement.
I assume there's standard fees and costs?
Yes, Your Honor. I apologize, I did not include
Those
that.
down there, 'cause-
Yes.
just to make sure everybody's clear about it. Mr. Fryer, go ahead.
I'm sorry, sir.
No, you need to talk to him?
I was.
You'll have the whole time. We'll ask him, he'll give you 100.
Your Honor, I was just explaining that he'll have time to pay the court costs, so I can add that to the plea agreement if you.
Okay. Yeah, because, yeah. So you want to
Just to make sure it's clear.
put 180 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do that right when I get out.
Right.
I have it in my, yeah, I have that in my bag right now.
Your Honor, while Ms. Farcus is doing that, I'd just like to add that this is a downward departure based on an uncoerced plea agreement.
Thank you.
Yep.
I just read that.
I signed this one.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Fryer, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement, and I see those terms are contained in the written plea agreement that you've signed. Have you read this closely, gone over it in detail with your attorney?
We went over this together at the jail, Your Honor.
Okay, the main thing I want to do, I want to make sure you have all of your legal questions answered. Do you understand this? Do you feel like you understand the plea
I
agreement?
believe so, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the 12-1, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, but that's it, but there's some bigger issues too, just so you understand. You're waiving some valuable legal rights. That's the main thing I need to tell you. You're waiving some legal rights. Right to force the state to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. Right to confront witnesses, go to trial, have a jury of your peers. All those things are in the U.S. Constitution, and those are your rights. But you're waiving those in order to get a final resolution of this case. 'Cause you're not going to trial. This will be a final resolution, right?
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure you understand that it, it has consequences. It's a no contest plea, but there's going to be an adjudication of guilt. Those have legal consequences, right? Just want to make sure you understand that, and that you've had the opportunity to ask your lawyer any questions that you have about this. We're not trying to just push you into it. We want you to make sure you're comfortable with it.
Well, to be honest, it was being on the probation and the rest. I just don't feel like I can actually do probation and the rest. And I came up with doing the 12-1 to go ahead and
So doing the sentence such as the 12-1, you feel like that's better suited to you than doing probation?
Yes, sir.
That's understandable.
I'm working, actually doing the 12 steps and AA and Celebrate Recovery in the county jail. And I'm actually made headway for the first time.
Awesome.
And I'm planning on continuing it at 52 bill when I get out of here.
Excellent.
So, I'm figuring it's a better fit doing the 12-1.
Now,
My bad.
counsel? Approach. Okay, so, again, you've read through this and asked any questions you had any, whatever discussions you've had with your attorney. You're comfortable that this is in your best interest to enter into this plea?
Yes, sir.
Nobody threatened or coerced you to get you to enter into this plea?
No, sir.
Anybody promise you anything that wasn't contained in this plea agreement?
No, sir.
Okay. Very good. Based upon that, the court will accept your plea. And as to the two felony charges, counts 1 in each of the two cases, the court will sentence the defendant to 12.1 months in the Department of Corrections. You'll get credit for all time served, and these two sentences will be concurrent to each other. So it's a total of 12.1 minus the credit for time served. And as to count 2, which is a misdemeanor, you'll just get credit for time served. That's basically means the time you served is your sentence. No probation on either one of these. Revoke and terminate supervision. And then any of the fees and costs, the standard fees and costs that you have, you'll have 180 days after you get out of DOC to provide, to pay those, so maybe you can avoid getting your license dinged and all that.
Okay.
Okay? Any questions?
No, sir. Thank you for your time.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
This way, sir. Just try to review all. Next is Watts.
Yeah, this is Kyron Watts, 2023 CF 2065. He is set for a bond hearing tomorrow, April 16th. And I've spoken with ASA Sharpless about scheduling depositions in this case. They've been conducted in the co-defendant cases, so I'm hoping to get recordings of those depositions, as I wasn't present for those. But we'll start with the bond hearing tomorrow.
Okay, so we'll continue this on the primary cycle to 6/12, June 12th at 9 a.m. And we'll come back tomorrow and handle the bond hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, what about Craig Chenault?
That's Mr. Medina's client, and he's speaking with him.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to follow my job. Do you have any other ones, Ms. Farcus?
Yes, this is my last client, I believe.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is Vicky and Curtis, 2024 CF 194.
Hold on just a second.
Sorry.
What's the spelling on the name?
Encardes, E-N-C-A-R-D-E-S. Vicky is the first name.
Just give me a case number. I don't have that on my document.
2024 CF 194.
Okay.
She was on the docket last Wednesday. I got moved to today.
Okay. Where are we at?
Your Honor, the state and the defense have reached an agreement, if I may approach.
You may. Thank you.
Your Honor, in docket 2020, I realize there's a small typo in to what she's pleading. It says 21 instead of 24.
Thank you.
All right, in docket 2024, CF 194, count 1, the only count, there will be an adjudication of guilt, 24 months standard probation, enter and complete the 12-month residential rehabilitation treatment program at Saving Grace Women's Home Recovery Program in Knoxville, Tennessee. I have her acceptance letter here. I can give that to probation. It has the address and contact information for the program. 48 hours community service, $515 in court costs, and $150 public defender fee. I spoke with the representative from probation who was here last week when we were in court, and they said that it should be okay for her to do probation from Tennessee. I know that that's not, obviously that's not ours to approve, but given that the program includes treatment and community service, it seemed to be a very good fit.
Saving Grace around here?
I don't know.
Is Saving Grace always the one in Tennessee? I've never heard of it being in Tennessee.
Oh, Your Honor, my clients informed me that they do have one in Baker, Florida, but they don't have any beds. Can bring up.
Oh, I mean, I've heard very good things about Saving Grace. Could I ask a question of procedure, just a practical? How is Miss Encardes getting up to Tennessee, and whose responsibility is that? And
they're picking her
how
up
does
here.
that go with? I mean, I know you can transfer up to Tennessee, but you can't. It's going to take some time. It's not going to be immediate.
I'm not sure who you spoke to from my office. To my knowledge, transferring out of state for the sole purpose of treatment it's not guaranteed to be accepted. That's not a reason for transfer. So again, I don't know who you spoke to. But we run into a lot of problems with this because you can't transfer for the sole purpose of treatment.
If we could maybe, if I can speak with.
Well, let's
Georgina.
assume it is accepted. What would be the procedure?
Well, I mean, she's not a returning resident to Tennessee, so they would have to go through the entire transfer process, which can take up to 45 days. And again, it's going to be a discretionary transfer at best. Because she has no ties, no family. The purpose of this is to go to treatment, and they're going to say there are treatment facilities in the state of Florida that she can attend. That is my experience.
So is it somebody in your office that's making that decision, or up the chain of command?
That's ICOS, that's Interstate Compact.
Okay.
Again, I'm
I'm
not sure
hearing you.
who you spoke to.
I'm hearing it. So,
Yeah, we had that same problem. We couldn't go transfer someone to another state.
If either we could have a minute to discuss it now, or we could continue it to another day this week, if your honor would prefer that. I don't want to inconvenience
well, I mean,
the court.
I don't know that it can be resolved immediately, and we have to give this some consideration about how to. Did Saving Grace up in Baker give you any indication of when they thought a bed might be opened?
Your Honor, I didn't ever speak with Saving Grace in Baker. Ms. and Cardis had been in contact with I can bring Your Honor a copy of her acceptance letter. The representative from Saving Grace in Knoxville, and so she was in contact with me and ASA Jardina.
Well, I understand that. How did that originate? Where did that come from? Where did that contact come from?
Sir, Saving Grace, the ones from Baker came and interviewed, and they did not,
told you about it.
and they did not have any more. They told all four, there was 4 of us girls in the booth waiting to be seen, and they told all of us that there was no beds available in Baker right now, that the only bed they had available was Tennessee. And I had already marked that I was okay with Florida or Tennessee, just because I want to get away from people, places, and things. For my own recovery.
We need to be listening. Probation is trying to tell us something, and she's being polite. She's saying this is probably not going to go through.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing her say, and I don't. It's not your fault. It's just procedures.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I think we just need to try and look at different options. Try and do it. I am supportive, certainly, of a plea of this sort with an inpatient facility of some sort.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Your Honor.
Is it possible to do mail or phone-in probation?
No,
If they're in a different state.
Right, correct.
I mean, it's a problem up here in the Panhandle. I mean, honestly, if we had the political sway of downstate, this would go away.
Yeah.
This wouldn't be an issue, but we're stuck up here, right up on the border, on the Alabama border, and we can't access as many programs up here. That's one of the biggest problems we have. We don't have access to programs. Anyway, neither here nor that's not going to help anything.
Maybe we can continue it to
Yeah,
the
let's
date in
continue.
May.
We're going to continue to try and come up with a resolution. But I would go back to Saving Grace locally and just say how long. Might be able to do it in a few weeks, and there are a couple of other programs you might want to.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, there's a program I'm somewhat familiar with, the Genesis Sober House in Lake County, Florida. That's an option. I have
Which is funny because Lake County in Florida is not really that much closer than Tennessee, but
Exactly.
because it's across state lines. I understand it's not your fault. But that's good. Well, I think we need to look at. I agree with you 100%. We need to look at all different options, and we'll find. I think we can find an option. We just have to be patient and continue to look for it.
I don't know if we could have a date in May, if a month would be sufficient.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Why don't we
Your Honor, they are, it seems like they're going to get a Keaton evaluation. That's usually done pretty quick, and then a lot of times they have beds available pretty quick, so that might work.
Yeah, that could work. That's one option. And, you know, I mean, I think you have to, if these rehab programs, one size doesn't fit all, and that's where you got to kind of make sure they work. But that may be the only option, but if there are other options. But that's a good suggestion.
So what will be the next court date?
How about May 21st?
Thank you.
Jessica, there's also Path of Grace. Path of Grace. I think our panel said it. We've sent beginner come see him.
Mr. Farcus, and then I'll do your other females. I got all
I think that's all of my clients.
I believe the court, this is Rebecca Farcus. I think the court might still have her score sheet from earlier.
Oh, we've got it.
Okay.
We have it. The clerk's got it. I didn't think I had any up here, so thank you. I'm glad you have it. It's not good. I'm sorry.
Judge, this is Rebecca Farcus. She is number 46 on the docket.
Okay.
For the court on 22 CF 2327, 23 CF 1067, and the one that was left off was 23 CF 1351. You can have Ms. Farcus sign.
And Judge, I'll remind the court that this is a slight downward departure based on a negotiated plea agreement between the defense and I.
Thank you.
I will apologize in advance. I handwrote all this, so I tried to make it as legible as possible. On 22 CF 2327, which is a VOP, so adjudication of guilt, 11 months and 29 days in the Okaloosa County Jail, credit for time served to run concurrent, revoke and terminate supervision, assess applicable court costs, cost of judgment. In 23 CF 1067, counts 1 through 4, which are all felonies, adjudication of guilt, 24 months Department of Corrections, concurrent, credit for all time served, court costs, cost of judgment. 23 CF 1067, counts 5 through 7, which are all misdemeanors, adjudication of guilt, credit for time served to run concurrent. In the new case, 23 CF 1351, counts 1 through 3, which are all felonies, adjudication of guilt, 24 months Department of Corrections to run concurrent, credit for time served, cost of judgment, and count 4, adjudication of guilt, credit for time served to run concurrent. May approach. And again, this is the stipulation.
States in agreement.
That's correct, Judge.
She's saying thank you for catching it.
Sure.
Okay, let me ask you a couple more questions, just because it changed a little bit. So you're still under oath, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
So, to summarize this, you've got a number of possession of a controlled substance. Those are all felonies. All of the felonies, there's going to be an adjudication of guilt in 24 months DOC with credit for time served for each of them. They'll all be served concurrent, all at the same time, so they're all tracking together. So it's a total maximum of 2 years, 24 months. And then all the misdemeanors are credit for time served. So basically, the time you've been in there, that's the sentence, done. No probation. Well, there's no probation on either one. Okay, you're done with probation. You're going to serve time, get out, hopefully get a fresh start. Okay? Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think about 25327. I I didn't state it properly. You got to catch me here.
I apologize, Judge. I thought you did.
Well, on 22 CF 2327, that's, so, I thought all your misdemeanors were credit for time, straight up credit for time served.
That is a misdemeanor VOP, and she does have in excess of that 1129, Judge.
Okay. Okay, so, but technically, the ruling is, you're being sentenced to 1129 with credit for time served. But you've served all of them. You've served more than 1129, so has the same effect. The misdemeanors all go away. Okay, you're done. No, they don't go away. But you finished those because you've been in for a good little while in the county court, in the county jail. Okay. So just want to make sure you understand that by doing this will be a final resolution of this case. You got you waiving some valuable legal rights, right? You go to a trial and all that. You believe this is in your best interest?
Yes, sir.
And you feel like you have gotten a fair deal? This is in your best interest to enter into this?
Yes, sir.
Nobody threatened or coerced you to get you to enter into the plea?
Yes, sir.
And you satisfied with your representation, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Harper? Okay. Based upon that, the court will accept the plea agreement that was slightly revised. And as we stated, all the felonies are going to be 24 months Department of Corrections, credit for time served. All the misdemeanors, 1129, credit for time served. One of these, the possession, is only a 60-day max, so that would only be 60 days.
Just
Again,
Judge.
they've all been resolved. All the misdemeanors have been resolved. You've got the 2 years, the 24 months. Well, no, that's not true. 24 months DOC. Do we have 180 days to pay some of these fees or something?
Judge, I think probably just sent to judgment, Judge.
Okay, very good. Is that on here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Any questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Judge, that
You're going to appeal
concludes,
this in the next 30 days.
that concludes my business. May I be excused?
You sir, you may.
Thank you.
We can do either one.
Did we do Deontay Knight, Mr. Harper?
Judge, I think they're going to proceed forward with some additional females, Judge, but we have not addressed this case yet.
Just call down if we can, and then I'll try to call, if we call.
I'm ready to go to prison. I don't care right now. No, man, I don't care now. I was ready. You've done nothing for me. You got none of the 911 calls. You showed them nothing of my rates, of my calls, of nothing here to defend me on it. To send me on down the road, man. This is interest charges, and I'm owned. You've done nothing for me.
Your Honor, could we set aside Miss Allen? The state's going to look at something.
Sure.
Miss Allen wants to go ahead and do a DOC deal because of, may I just, since she's here, can I go ahead and address the court? I apologize.
Sure.
The state was saying to send her back, but I think at this point I need to say a couple things on the record because she's already making some statements. Steve Medina with Lorena G. Allen, A-L-L-E-N, 23 CF 2010 and 23 CF 2478. Basically, Miss Allen had asked that we look into the 90-day program for her. Unfortunately, because one of her charges is aggravated battery, the 90-day program evaluator said that that was not a good fit. And unfortunately, Phoenix House denied her application. So that's not an option right now. I had asked the state to consider a probation deal. My understanding is Miss Allen's never been to prison. She's not a convicted felon. I don't see her as having a significant prior record at all. Maybe like a prior trespass or something. But I could be wrong on that, but I did check the Florida system, and there's not much. But she's saying, I don't know if she'll regret it, but an interest in DOC. I would rather have her go back and think about it, and let me talk to the state, and maybe we'll bring her back later. If she insists on doing a DOC deal, the state may be willing to do that, but I don't think that's in her best interest. Because even though Phoenix House won't take her, there may be some other good option for her that can give her some help. She has some issues she needs to deal with, and that might be much more constructive than prison. So I hope she doesn't give up that easily. If we could set her aside briefly, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ashbury.
Your Honor, Steve Medina with Roderica T. Ashbury, 24 CF 283. Ms. Ashbury is, I'm sorry, she is 84 on the docket. Your Honor, she was one of the individuals who couldn't come to court this last Thursday. That kind of has kind of bottled things up here with her. The state hasn't had an opportunity to look at Ms. Ashbury's request to do a community control offer. The prior state offer is guidelines, and I want to work on this with the state. The state doesn't feel like it can do a community control deal today. I'm asking to continue her to June 12th. If we can work something out before then, maybe we can bring her back in May, but I think June 12th is probably what we're going to need to do.
So we'll continue to 6/12, and if you are able to work something out, we'll definitely get in.
And Your Honor, she has 4 kids, and she wants to work on a DCF plan and so forth. So I'll do everything I can to speed things up with the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
And the DCF plan could be part of the requirements.
Yes, Your Honor.
Condition of probation.
Yes, Judge. Okay, thank you.
They actually provide some resources sometimes that aren't available to non-DCF cases.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next is Mr. Clark for Mr. Harper.
Clark?
Judge, this is Antonio Clark, number 39 on the docket. He is before the courts on 23 CF 2050 and 23 CF 2098. Judge, we had left this set for Plea trial. We can bring him back on jury review. It's plausible that we could resolve one of these cases. I'm hoping to resolve both of them, but we'll see where we are on Thursday.
Your Honor, just the state only has one case set for trial, so I just want to make sure we're clear about that.
I'm not following you.
She elected to proceed forward on 2050, Judge.
Gotcha, yeah, and that's their right. So they're looking, if it's a trial, that'll be the trial.
Yes.
That's what you're saying? Okay, I understand. So we'll come back on 4/18, which is Thursday, for plea or trial.
Next is Knight. The next one, Judge, is Deontay Knight, who is number 54 on the docket. Actually, I think that was Mr. Longstow's.
Not mine.
He is before the court on 23 CF 704 and 23 CF 1515. Judge, we had set this for today for status. It's not set for trial or anything like that. He and I are in discussions about possibly incorporating some rehab facilities that Mr. Knight was recently accepted into. I believe last week, Haven House. But he's also been accepted into Phoenix House. I'm asking to set this for a continuance to the 6/12 dockets. Mr. Knight is anxious to get closure on this one way or the other, so I'm fine with the last continuance.
I will let Mr. Alaska know that.
Very good.
Mr. Lasko and I did talk, and we're kind of on the same page about that, Judge.
Okay, we'll continue this until 6/12, and if you can get anything earlier, you can bring them back for a plea in May.
Thank you, Judge. I believe that's all I have today.
Make sure I don't have anything on.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, have a nice day.
You too, sir.
Ms. Farkas?
All we have is Mr. Medina's clients, but we have one pro se.
I just have my laptop set up, so I was doing some more work while I was.
So Mr. Medina's not here. So let's bring out the pro se. Ms. Sharpless, are you ready for this?
Yes.
Bless you.
I can't tell you, drop yourselves.
I'll wait till Thursday.
Found it.